Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here this evening. My name is Erika Hirano from the Department of Asian Studies. Today, we are honored to have two wonderful guests, Ms. Shigeko Sasamori and Professor Kazumi Hatasa from Purdue University. Ms. Sasamori is going to share with us her experience as a survivor of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima today. And before we start, I would also like to thank the Japanese program and the Department of Asian Studies for their sponsorship that made this event possible at Penn State main campus. And I am very pleased that you all came here to listen to her story in person. Thank you so much. Before welcoming both of the speakers, let me briefly tell you about Ms. Sasamori and Professor Hatasa. Ms. Sasamori was born in Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima city. When the bomb fell, Ms. Sasamori, then 13 years old, was critically wounded at school. 10 years later, the Hiroshima Girls Project, supported by the American journalist Norman Cousins, sponsored Ms. Sasamori to get reconstructive surgery in the United States. After recovering, she decided to become a nurse in America. For many years, she's been giving her testimony as an A-bomb survivor. Today, Ms. Sasamori will be accompanied by Professor Kazumi Hatasa. He received his PhD in education from University of Illinois in 1989. He's a professor in School of Languages and Cultures at Purdue University and a former director of the School of Japanese at Middlebury College. His primary area of specialization is computer application of technologies in Japanese language teaching. Professor Hatasa has published many articles and books, including introductory Japanese language textbook, Nakama. He frequently makes presentations with Ms. Sasamori around the country, and today he will guide the conversation and the Q&A session that takes place at the end of the lecture. The lecture will take about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then after that, we will have a Q&A session. And one thing I would like to remind all of you to turn off your cell phone or silent your cell phone. That means no pictures, no recording during the lecture. But after the lecture, I'll give you a chance to take pictures with the speakers if you like. And okay, so without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Sasamori and Professor Hatasa with a round of applause.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight to hear my speech. I'm very happy to meet you, all of you. Thank you. My poor English, so please be patient to hear my poor English, lack English, and forgive me. And somebody, maybe Dr. Hatasa will help so what I missed the words. Please understand. Yeah. Yeah. 立ってたの古い。
Thank you very much for your wonderful welcome introduction. My name is Kazumi Hatasa. I'm from Boilermaker country. And who are you guys playing tomorrow? Where? Iron. Ah, okay, then please beat them. Are we going to have a game this season? I haven't followed that. Over there? So you guys are coming over to Lafayette?
No, we played a few weeks ago.
Oh, already? Did you win? Okay. Well, thank you very much for such a big turnout and wonderful. The standing room, just find a seat and squeeze in. Yeah. During this presentation, I'll ask her questions and I do it more interactively. And then if I let her speak, she has a tendency to just run around and then uncontrollably. I'll control that so that you can sort of follow the story. And I'll take you through in a chronological order from August 6, 1945. And that's where we start. And I will use some Japanese, and she might respond in Japanese. And if that's the case, and then I will ask your wonderful history professor, Professor Rand, Weigenberg sensei. And so she'll give you some, then I'll also give you some English one too. Okay. さて、じゃあちょっと始めましょう。1945年8月の6日、August 6, 1945、どこにいましたか Where are you? どこにいたのそう広島
In Hiroshima,
はい
I was a junior high first year student. Then, ordinarily, we are studying in school, but that particular day, government ordered every junior high, first the high school student come to the city to help the people. Those days, American airplane come and drop the firebomb all the time, big city, but not Hiroshima yet. Hiroshima airplane comes all the time, but I never dropped the bomb. So we used to hear the airplane come and gone. Then, but sooner or later, Hiroshima city must have bombing. So city ordered to the students to come to the city, to the people broke down the house and made fire escape way. So we have to clean up the gutters.
Yeah, I'll give you some context on this one. In Hiroshima was never bombed, but B-29 presence was fairly frequent. So they were used to seeing the bombers coming. And so the city was probably like this. This is a picture of that. I want you to remember this Y-shaped river. And
Hiroshima has 7 rivers, a beautiful city.
And then if you know, full of houses, and then if you have some knowledge about the current day Hiroshima, this is where the A-bomb dome is, and then in the full shape. And then nearby was the Peace Park is around that. So this is probably the scene that she used to see prior to August 6th. And then on that day, she was let me just skip over to this picture. So this was the Y-shaped photo that you just saw. And then this is the A-bomb dome is. Her home was here, and that's 2 kilometers away. And so she was here in the morning about 7:30ish. And she was walking toward this location, and that location was kind of site where the selective demolition happened. Is that selective demolition the good word? To create a fire lane. And so some houses or neighborhood was basically demolished, and all the rubbles are left. And then so their assignment was to clear that area so that the roads can be widened and for the people to escape. And so she was walking from here toward this along with her neighborhood classmate. Yeah, about probably 30 minutes, 25 minute walk over there. And then they gathered about 200 people, children, more.
200 people dead that day.
Uh,
200 people dead that day.
Okay, so by 8 o'clock or so, they
More.
gathered here and
Is it
for
not,
the work.
not just my school. I was a girls' school and a boys' school and other different schools, high school, junior high through the high school kids. All the children, school children came out to the city to help. I was just going to start about, that was 8:15 drum bombed.
So about 8 o'clock, they gathered. From what I gathered from her, it probably few hundred students were there, and then to start this cleaning up work. And then that was 8, and then each school gathered, and then 8:15 was this.
No. See, did many different space, not only one space. See, this district and the houses in another district, a different school, every place break down a house, we are there. So I don't know how many altogether, every student in Hiroshima, I don't know. Then I was just starting clean up. I heard the airplane. This is the moment everybody want to know what happened that day. I heard the airplane. And I look up the sky, with my behind, I saw beautiful silver, shiny little airplane and white tail. And that particular day, Hiroshima City was a beautiful sky, blue and no cloud. It's so shiny, it's so beautiful. So I told my classmate next to me, look up at the sky, so beautiful. So I pushed up to my, pointed it. Almost same time, I saw the white things, little white things coming, maybe it was coming down, but I saw the white things near the airplane line. Everything to me at once. Point, so, boom, knocked me down, very strong force. That strong wind, that's not enough. After that, I don't know anything about it. Probably I knocked me down and unconscious. Then for a while, I become conscious back. I look down at pitch black. I cannot see anything. I cannot hear anything. I cannot feel anything. Numb. Then pretty soon the blackness go away slowly, like a fog, heavy fog go away, that kind of thing. Then I can see, first things I saw was people walking very slowly, the half of it about. And those people had hanging the clothes and acid, and hair is kinky up there, and red all over, just not normal. Then pretty soon, I followed them to go nearby the river, as you see. By the time I got there, the sunshine came out and the sea very clear, dust go away. Then people stare down to the river. So I followed them, and people sort of pushing everybody, each other to go down, but very slowly. In the river, before the water, they had a cement sidewalk inside. Always, both sides, everybody lie down or sitting down, everybody so red, pinky. That's blood or burning skin come off. Skin. After the skin come off, tissues is pinky. And no one said anything because I didn't hear that at the time. I didn't feel anything. I just looking down. Then, thank you. Then, when by the water, many people already in the water, and some people still dumping in. And then in the center of the water is a floating head, because we was very closer to the ocean side. So water going to the ocean, people's head on the bodies going. I couldn't, just wanted to go in. Then all of a sudden, baby screaming. My ears are open, I hear. Then look at the mother tried to nurse baby, mother was hurt, and baby got, I don't know where baby hurt, but I saw the blood and baby screaming. And everybody very quiet. No one says nothing. And all of a sudden I heard the man say, cross the river, bridge. The bridge was very close there. So people follow, so I went there. About 1 mile from there to other side, in the elementary school, I got there. Then by the time I got there, many wounded people already in there. Then Japanese soldier was helping. So I thought, I should come here. Then I find a big tree inside the schoolyard. I sat down. Then back. After that, I couldn't open my eye. I stayed at the school.
So she saw a plane, pointed at, and indicated that to her classmate, and then she saw a white thing coming out from an airplane. Then that was the end of it. And the next is blast. Then she got knocked out. And then from what I gathered again from her, she seemed to have been unconscious for probably a few hours. And so this was 8:15, and by about noontime, she seemed to have came to again. And then, but she's in the pitch dark, and no pain, no feeling, no hearing. No hearing.
Nothing.
And then the clouds settled, and they started seeing, and then adults walking slowly, and then she was to follow adults when some emergency happened. So she started walking, but she was able to walk. And then somehow miraculously she walked, and then the path seemed to be, so this is the hypocenter, and then that's 1 kilometer. So it's less than a mile she was away from the hypocenter. Then she was slowly walking and crossed this river, and then her river description part was probably around here. So as she was crossing the bridge, and you saw many bodies and then other people walking.
Right.
Then turn left and then move up. So it's a fairly small, short distance.
Yeah, that
And-
looks long distance, but
They came,
oh,
then arrived at the elementary school. And then,
elementary
and then again, she collapsed there. And then became unconscious again. So that's still on the August 6th day. And then what I gathered seems to be, the next one, the little graphic picture, sorry about that. So this is something similar to what she saw around. And many wounded people tend to have this sort of hands up. And then I asked her, why is you walking this way? Because if you bring the arms down and the hands become lower, you feel throbbing and the pain. So there's a natural tendency to just keep it up. But it's too tiring to keep it up all the way. So
When-
somewhere around.
when I had a burn, I looked to my hand, but I didn't feel it before. I just looked at my hand was not young children's hand, like my hand, all the hand, the wrinkles all over, gathering wrinkles. I said, funny hand. I just thought about it. It wouldn't feel pain, nothing pain. Then I put the hair down, then it hurt, so I put it up. So the people, other people hurt the hand, and it came skin, come off and burn, and those people like this, because put down and hurt.
So then this photo is the same place, basically same location, and so this is the current A-bomb, and pretty much a dome, then nothing there, and then what she was wearing seems to be something like this. So on the left-hand side, it's not her picture. It is sort of kind of similar. Basically, want to show you how her haircut was and how sort of thick her hair was. More or less, this is similar enough. And then on the right-hand side is a reenactment of a bomb by young Hiroshima girls, much in the current setting. So this was just a photo from a stage. And then, but at least the clothing seems to be close enough what she was wearing. So that's
They are older than the class. I was first year. They are third or fourth year,
okay.
the picture.
All right, then, so back to, so she reached this green point, and her original house was there, and your father and mother were there.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they did not, they survived as well. Mother was
Under the house.
under the building,
Yeah.
and then father was outside,
And then-
but he slid behind the big refrigerator building, so the concrete structure in the fish market storage type. And then that saved him. Then when she collapsed here, how many days ago?
5 days, 4 nights.
Okay, so 5 days or so at this elementary school gym where the many injured folks lie. And what were you doing? その時何をしてたんだっけ？その5日間の間ってどんな状態だった？
I said every day, asking people my name and address and water. Please give me water. I was saying, nobody paid attention, and of course those people hurt, and other people are busy in the things. Then, fifth night, fourth night, yesterday, a man heard. I was saying to myself, one more time, somebody heard me. They went to my parents' house because I told the address. Then that time my father was helping people who survived came off underneath the house or the things. Those people lost everything and no money, so he had to write in paper as the money. This person is a survivor for the bomb or victims. So they take to near the station to go to the outside the city, the relatives or friends or whatever they can go. So he was doing it. Therefore, he put up to the big sign for address, district. So this man came over to getting the paper. Then he saw the address. Then he said, in the school, the child saying this address. So my parents came.
This location, you're calling your address and name.
No, name, not name.
And they came over to your father's place, then told the father that, yeah, I saw,
Yeah.
or I heard your daughter's name and.
No.
No.
Only address, he said, this address. A child saying this address. I didn't hear very hard to hear the name. My father said, anybody's child, this address, maybe somebody looking for, let's go. And then my mother went every day looking for me because I didn't come home. Then that evening, he just came home tired. Even my father stopped to stay home, but she said, no, I come with you. So that's why I can tell you a story, how they find me in the things she told me later.
On the fifth day, they got the information about the possibility, so they came over. Mother came over?
Yes.
お母さん来た。で、じゃあ、その5日間の間は、ただ寝てただけ？
No, I have to tell them, please tell my parents and their name and give me that's it. I cannot move. I can't open my eyes anymore. I'm just a dead person and stay like that.
Then on the fifth day, your mother came out.
With them.
With
Yeah.
them.
Then
でその時お母さんはどうやって見つけたの？
one handle, everybody had a candle because no lights. Calling my name, Shigeko, Shigeko. Then I heard. So I said, here I am. And my mother heard, and she said, very weak, very small voice. Here I am, saying a child, and then look down, doesn't recognize me. I said, Shigeko, Shigeko, many times called. Then, yes, Shigeko, here I am, Shigeko. Then, took home. Then after that, many years later, she told me all this story. Many times I said, please tell me, how did you find, how look like I was and everything. First take home, they looked, couldn't recognize it because my face was like a football, black football, swelling, and all hair was burning out, and all the front face black. When you make a toast and forget, the smoking came out, and you pop up black and rough, right? Just you can imagine my face all over like that. No eye, no nose, no mouth, just black swelling. So my father's first did was cutting my hair. Then underneath my skirt, okay, didn't burn. And the black things, he cut it all over the face and peeling off. The underneath was a very yellow, thick, tough, that's infection. Can you imagine? 5 days, hot summer, no medication, no cleaning, naturally infection. So first things is they had any kind of material to no medication, no nothing, cleaning things. So cooking oil, like soybean oil, soaked, wash off the yellow puff, day and night, because they come up, and then my mother sitting, we have left the one house, so they had a summertime, people use the mosquito net, corner to corner, you know those things. Fortunately, the house didn't burn the house, they had one, so they pour on. So inside the net.
So they put up a kayak.
Kayak.
Mosquito net and they place inside to keep
Fly, mosquitoes, and whatever. So I didn't get the maggot and then fly. I didn't get it because of the thanks to the cover.
どのくらいその元気になるまで時間かかってるの
Well,
So how long did it take for you to recover from that condition to
Yes.
to walk?
I don't know exactly. And then also, gradually, my wound is getting better, but I cannot move around. I was too weak. So many months. I don't know exactly, but probably over half year or so. Yeah. Yes. Then I can able to first time walk out. Was, of course, my skin was already healing, but keloid. And then also lost the tissues. And then the other time, American soldiers already in Hiroshima City, and they brought the wife and children. Then their skin is light, the sort of pinky face skin. Then the nose and eyes more clear, and not flat face. I was so skinny, that no skin there, so look like my nose is sort of a pointy, little more like American people. Is it funny? Then I had a scarf. My mother gave it to me, scarf to tie, because my hair wasn't grow much yet. So the Japanese children see me, hello, give me candy. And then I told my mother that, came home, and she said, probably my skin is not normal skin. The light keloid, more pinky. She said, now I'm getting old, so change it, go back to my skin color and things. But those short time doesn't look like a Japanese. Besides, my eyebrow was just coming, so not much. So not like a typical Japanese face. But anyway.
We'll just go back a little bit, back to 46. So after the 5th day, the mother found her and in that condition. And they brought her back to her home and placed her in this mosquito illness and then took care. Not much medication, but 6 months or so, she recovered. But during that time, she was in the condition that she could die any minute. And then both parents were thinking that they're thankful for her for day after day. で、どうして歩けたの? Why were you able to walk from that condition, from that location to elementary school? どうして小学校まで歩けたの?
That's a good question. I don't know.
でもズボンの話があってさ。
See, my leg is not burned. This is a funny story, I tell you. That morning, before the bomb morning, August 5th, the night, airplane came over, and the warning sign, and we went to the, under the, 防空壕なんていうの? Shelter. My mother woke children up, give the clothes.
So this is August 5th.
Fifth the night. So I got it. Then after the airplane gone, go back to bed. You know, that 13-year-old girl doing those commotion happen, sleepy, don't want to get up. And my neighbor's girlfriend came over to let's go to school. So I had to go. Then I looked, I had a good new trouser. Mother gave it to me night before, because in case the house burned, the better clothes probably.
She was given a new pair of pants
Pants.
the night before.
Yes, and clothes. Then I didn't want my new pants to get dirty, and I had a regular pants that I find on the floor. So I took that, put it on, because my mother said, Shigeko, hurry up, your friend is waiting for you. I said, okay. I wear 2 pants.
So she put an old pair on top of the new pair.
That's why I didn't burn my half done. That's my mother told me. Everybody, almost naked, more clothes burned done. Why Shigeko had a good conditions pants, trouser. Monday. Then she was undressed for me. She find the 2 belt things, another pants with the belt. Then burn out, nothing there, top. So I had 2 pants. My legs survived. So I can able to walk.
And literally, for the damage was when the heat ray hit the skin directly and it gets burned. But if it is covered, it is not. So even her arm, you can tell that point.
That day I had a long sleeve shirt. When you have a long sleeve shirt, I didn't have a cover, and more material here. So I didn't get to burn my arms. No scalp. When I put up the head up, the material stick in the shoulder and arm top. I have a keloid, after the burn the keloid, still I have a keloid. Chest, this is a half of body.
So if the fabric touches the skin, that part that burn. But if there is a space between the fabric and the skin itself, that air protected. So she doesn't have much damage on the skin damage on this part, but not on the.
No keloid. You can see up here the keloid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why same thing, face. Before I told you half, I saved my ear because of the hair.
So miraculously, she survived and recovered and became healthy enough to walk around, but she left scars. And she started going through series of plastic surgeries in Tokyo. And in the next 10 years or so. And then 1955-ish, Roman cousins and the Reverend
Tanimoto, yeah.
So these two people started a project called the Hiroshima Maiden, and to gather 25, when it ended up gathering, raised enough money, and then send the 25 girls from Hiroshima to New York,
Manhattan,
Manhattan,
Mount Sinai
for
Hospital.
reconstructive surgery. And then she was selected to be one of them, and that's how she came to US for a series of plastic surgery.
And the most donation, even the doctors give their skill to operate, and nurses give their nursing time. Everybody giving for volunteers. And then people, when Norman Cousins wrote the article about the girls, women's need to help, big company or government, they don't know money, and some are saying, you bring the young girls to America to show people, and you make your name, something bad things even said it. But local people, he wrote the article, they read it. Those people put the dollar, 50 cents, $5, those type of more money. But even the children brought to the piggy bank. And so many people, local people, they donated the money.
ばあちゃんが最初にアメリカに来た時は何歳？それで来た時は How old were you when you first?
23 years old, 10 years after the end of the war.
Then after surgery they went back.
About 2 years stay in with groups that had operation, all that. Then come back to 28 or 7. Around that time, I came by myself because Norman Cousin asked me, he asked everybody, when you go back to Japan, what you going to do? And so they told, and must be, they said, in the video, we had our interview. Then I told her I'd like to become a nurse. So he said, would you like to study here? So I went home, I told my parents. My parents said, I don't live with same times, same life, no. So this is my life, that's their life. So I have to decide myself. So I said, I will go. I was so naive. No English, no friend, no relative, nothing else. Just go to the cousin's family. I came. I didn't think stay all my life here, like long time, that time. But I stayed. I've ever since very happy. Many people said, you go through so hard. You must have had a very difficult time. I said, no, I don't. And they said, why? Because people's scaredness. First, my parents and the families, relatives, neighbors, and people. And American people donate money to bring the girls here. That love give me survive. Love give me feel not down so much. And then some people said, you angry to America? I said, no. You didn't do it. The people, you just people, person. And I don't want to anger. No reason to anger. And you people helped me. They came to the America to have an operation, and also they give me smile. I was very happy. So I learned love is the most important, most best medication for everything. ケアしな。And war is kill each other. That's not love. That's why we came here to talking to you people.
So, she was given the opportunity to come back to the States, and she had a long desire to be a nurse when she was little. So that was the goal that she set out. And after she came back to the States, and she was given an opportunity to go to nursing school, and then she became a nursing assistant. And because of her because of her hands situation, the condition of her hands didn't become a full-fledged nurse, but nurse's assistant, and she worked for a hospital. And then she got married, and then had a son in 1962.
One son.
One son, and then come to now. She is, how old are you?
Now?
Oh,
Like that?
yeah.
87. Thank you. That energy, I have to go to over 100. Yeah, my grandson said to me, Grandma, when I graduate, I work with my father. I go to his office. And so you have to see me that day, he said. Okay, how long do I have to live? He said, 100 or something, I forgot that. Over 100. Wow.
I have a few photos from her, the maiden's time, probably. One in the middle, that's her.
Yes. That center, the woman was like a mother figures for the girls that came over with us from Hiroshima. She was born in America, California, and she married in Japan. She can both language, so she helped everything, translation and everything, talking, listen to us, and she was like a mother figure.
The next one in the middle is her. And then last one is Susho. So that's the kind of change.
That before my operation of my neck.
Oh, okay. Next one.
And my chin, my mouth side. And then that's after the operation before go back to the America and Japan.
I don't like the hitting of the thrombophoric triad. That's kind of boring. And then this is a documentary film by Stephen Okazaki.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she appears in this one. So if you have a chance to do, there are different resources available about it. So, and thank you. So it's your turn.
See, I feel today people's loveness. Smiling, I got the nice smile is a love. The saying, smile saying, I love you. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Keeping going. That's it. keeping a smile.
We have a couple of minutes for questions. We have one mic here, there are a couple of mics around. So probably do it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you experience radiation sickness from the fallout?
Radiation sickness.
Radiation sickness.
原爆症はありましたね。
Well, not Genbaku show, maybe connect to atomic bomb for the cancer. I was very lucky. I got the late age. In the 70s, I got the first my intestinal cancer. And the operation took the 20-inch my intestine away. Then 5 years ago, maybe almost 6 years ago, I had a stomach cancer. Then
It's amazing that within that distance, and she was exposed and then still didn't show those symptoms. So it's very unusual, maybe it's a miracle.
I think when doing Hiroshima, before I came to the America, I was thinking, many people die, my friends, of course, the schoolmates, many city people die and were hurt. And some people in the house, they didn't hurt physically, showing no burn things, survivors. I was thinking, why other survivors not burn and I burn? Then I discovered myself, this is a God's mission. God made for me, before since born, I'm sure, the city, the world is going to be very bad, making more weapons, more nuclear weapons, and more people, war, horrible things coming up. God knows. So God gave me to survive like this, to tell the people, never happened to me and Hiroshima, Nagasaki, people who had soldiers, normal, public. We were fighting, the country fighting, I was a soldier. So
Next question.
yes.
Hi, were your classmates as lucky as you were?
同級生が日本に
同級生が、
同級生
on that day together, yeah, there were some. 200人いた同級生の中何人か生き残ってたんですね。Yeah, she did meet some other survivors from the same location, and when she went to the monument, and it listed about 200 students died, perished from that school, but not 100%, but a very small number. But on that day, she didn't see anybody else. When she came to, she saw nobody. And then I just heard by talking to other sort of classmates from the incident, and there were different people who went different directions to escape from, and so there were some survivors.
Yes, that's right. Many students died, but at different school. And the later I heard, most people age dead that day, 13, 14 years old. That means junior high, first grade, second grade, those age. So all the school, different school, all the Hiroshima city came up to doing. And then outside, heard.
thank you for coming to our university tonight.
Thank you for your coming too.
I'm wondering if you had ever had the chance to meet the American airmen who dropped the bomb, what would you say to them?
No.
No. Well, I met one of the grandson for ex-President Truman, the grandson. We were best friends. First I met, just like you and I, just met, smile each other, became friends. And he said he can do anything for the, of course, me and Hibakusha, anything he can do. And we have very good friend. Actually, last night he came another school to speak with me. Wonderful man. And also, many people ask me like your question. I said, family, I don't feel anger or nothing. I just say hello and smile each other. That's all I will do it.
Just say hello.
Just only one person, I have to tell you. The person is who dropped, actually, pilot, the dropped one. This movie, he's in there. He met at the theater after the show, this opening show to people, audience, the stage. This person asking him if the government asking again do the same kind of job, what can you do? He said, oh, I'd be glad to do it again. I got shocked because before he said that word, I met him at the theater, he was there, so I thought, oh my God, he's there. And maybe he changed his feeling, was bad, feel guilty or something bad. That's why he came to this movie and the parody or something, I thought. So I'm so glad I saw he's there. So I said, thank you for coming. And he was sitting and he said, sorry, I can't stand up, my leg is bad. I said, it's okay, sit down. I was so happy. He's going to be a peaceful person, I thought. But when he said that, I was throwing up, shocked, sorry. And all of a sudden, everything come back to me. Many people dead, many people hurt. Oh, so I said to him, what are you saying? I said, really? I never angry to people about this kind of subject. I couldn't help. Oh, I got mad at him. You didn't know I was at the time in Hiroshima. Can you hear? I didn't use it. Oh, I never forget it.
Sharing your story. We were really grateful to hear it. One of the things that you said is love is the best medicine. And so my question to you is, what message do you want leaders to really understand of your experience? What message do you understand?
Oh, big one there.
Daddy? I'm sorry, I didn't.
まあいやいや、ちょっと待って。まあ、そうですね。国のリーダーたちにはどんなメッセージを伝える？
First of all, I said to President, every country leaders, do you have a child, children? Or, no, not you, I'm talking leader. Leader. I will ask, if they said, yes, I have, if your daughter or son go through for the young age, go through our life, my and friends and all the people's life, what do you feel? I ask as a father's careness, loveness. See, you think we are an enemy, so don't care. War is only war which their なんていうの、勝つこと。winner, leaders of this country, leaders of the world. Only they think that kind of thing. How the thinking in people's life? To me, most important things for me is life. Not just my life, everybody's. I love your life. People's love, I mean the life. I don't want people to die unnecessarily or hurt unnecessarily. That's very, very unhappy for me if it happened. So I asked the person, how do you feel? How do you feel about people's life? If somebody kill your daughter or son, you can no more feeling? That I said. Well, I don't know what he was going to say, but then I said, so please think about other people's life once start a war. Of course, everybody die, never live ever, but that's a natural cause. Illness or fire or tragedies, car accident, we can help the natural cause. But war, human fight, human want to kill. We stop that, knowing how to kill, die. So no more war. War is most people's life lose at once. That I feel. Thank you. Is that answer the question?
Another question. I just want to thank you. I took my son this summer to Hiroshima to visit, and I'm sure they saw a lot of pictures and then drawings there. And I believe they got a lot of strong message from them, but I think you gave them more strong and meaningful message. Thank you so much.
They are beautiful boys. I love you. Beautiful boys. I love, especially newborn baby. They just came to the garden. There are children. The babies, the children, are my teacher. They teach me all the time, remind me all the time, love, careness. So on the street, mother had a caring baby on the kid. Every time I see the baby, I don't know the mother's face, but I just look at it. Hi, how are you? Oh, nice smile. I talked, and my friend pulled me like him, just like that. But I cannot miss the baby and the children. And nice voice. And I touch the head or something.
We want to take you for coming today and sharing a story with us. Thank you very much.
I thank you, everybody, to listen to my story. Thank you.